And now, boys, we will take up our arithmetic lesson. No.
6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 8 is 48.
Stop!
6 times 9 is...
What do you mean, keeping these boys in there when there's baseball to be played?
Why, arithmetic.
Arithmetic. 4 times 4 is 16.
Yes.
3 strikes, you're out. That's our arithmetic. Come on, boys, let's go. What do you say?
Hey, will you hit some for us? Yeah.
Well, who's going to do the pitching?
I'm the pitcher.
All right, you do the pitching and I'll do the hitting.
All right. You guys get out in the outfield. Okay. Let it go. I got it. I got it. Let it go. I got it. 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 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 8 is 48.
Quiet.
So long.
Hi, I'm Roger Maris. You know you can get baseball trading cards free on Post Alphabets. A whole bunch on every package with rundowns on the 200 top Major League stars. So get Post Alphabets and start collecting your baseball trading cards now.
Just a little bit better.
Hi, I'm Roger Maris.
I'm originally from California, but over the past couple of years, I've worked really hard on speaking like a real New Yorker. Forget about it. Easy. Houston. Nailed it. Water. Coffee. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. I'm walking here. Boom. Not bad, right? I'm Aaron Judge, and that's Aaron's way to talk like a real New Yorker. I'm good.
Reach out, oh, with Ray and Steve. Reach out, with Ray and Steve. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the car. For the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Play ball.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Welcome to Reach Out with Ray and Steve. This is the show where East meets West, where the Yankees meet the Dodgers, and baseball meets music. And then we all come together for community. All right, now it's time for Ray and Steve.
Hello, Robby.
Wow.
Hello,
very
Stevie.
Good. Very good. Very good,
Thank
right?
you.
Very good. This is Reach Out. Robby
Out.
nailed it.
Reach out.
And we're here every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. And got the Bronx boy, Bat Boy himself here every week. And we're in studio together.
We're in studio together, Steven.
Yeah. But you know what? We got to start the show off talking about and praying and sending out thoughts and prayers to the folks in Florida, specifically Fort Myers,
That whole
Naples,
area. That whole area.
Sarasota. I mean, it's devastated.
Devastating.
I know you've been there many, many times. I've been there several times.
It's home of the Minnesota Twins in spring training.
Yeah, Boston Red Sox. So
Gio Urshela.
yeah, so a lot of people are really challenged in that area, and it's such a sad thing because we on the heels of what happened in Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands, and now in Florida, and thank God that they're really putting the efforts to really help one another, the mayor and the folks back in Fort Myers. We are going to try in our own ways collect gift cards from Walmart, Publix,
everything. We're going to try to do a little bit of everything.
That's right, because it's very important. So if you have a gift card for Walmart, Visa, Lowe's, or Home Depot, please contact us 516-476-6271 or leave a message on here. Or if you watch this after it's live, please help out, because the Harry Chapin Food Bank, which is located here in New York, the Long Island Cares, is also in Fort Myers. So they're doing great work to put it all together.
And let's, like in your Instagram and your stories and your everywhere, just, anything that we can do, we're there for you.
It's we all have to do our part. We all have to do our part. And last week we had the opportunity to go to Columbia University, which you go to regularly. You speak to college kids. Why is that important for you?
Because Lou Gehrig went to Columbia University, and the fact that Joe Favorito, the professor and one of the great PR guys in this country, thinks that I'm worthy enough to go and talk to those kids. It thrills me. And then when I walk on that campus, you see how I get, because I think of who?
You think of Lou Gehrig
immediately, and I become Lou Gehrig, and I want to do what I think Lou Gehrig would have done.
But this class, if you look at this picture of this class, it's so diverse, and when you're talking to them
from all over the world,
when you're talking to them about your upbringing and the challenges and the things that you have overcome, they were really listening, and it was really cool to see. But we have a little video clip of you talking about what transpired there last week. Let's check it out. So you just spoke to some students here, right? Why do you do this year after year?
Because it's a privilege to be able to come to Columbia University and be able to talk to some of the brightest students around the world, but yet they want to hear my story. And I find that amazing. I find the fact that I don't even have a college education, but yet they want to hear me talk. And if there's anything that I can do to help the young people of the world, then I want to be able to do it. And to be able to come to Lou Gehrig's alma mater, come on, Lou Gehrig meant everything to me. And to be at his school just kicks my butt every year that I come here.
Wow. We also videotape some of the things that happen in the class. We'll show that in upcoming episodes of Reach Out, but really connecting with those students because they're our future.
Well, they were, there wasn't a dry eye in the classroom, and that really got to me. You know what I'm saying? It was beautiful.
Yeah. Now, you've been connected with the Yankees for almost 50 years now. That's a big, big number. George Steinbrenner, but also Brian Cashman has been part of the Yankees for a long, long time. And he's very busy with the upcoming playoffs and everything, but his daughter is kind of working on something called the Tryout, which you guys started a couple of years ago.
Well, we started like 4 years ago with Gene Michael and Bucky Dent, etc. Unfortunately, Gene Michael has since then passed away, and Armando Gutierrez felt that, he wanted to get it going again. So either through whatever company, we're going to have the Tryout. It's like an American Idol of baseball.
That's right. And Grace Cashman is leading.
Cashman is she's our one of our head producers, and she's wonderful.
Yeah, well, we have a little video clip of this little trailer because it's coming up on October 15th.
Yes.
Let's check it out.
Have you ever dreamed of playing professional baseball? Do you think you have what it takes? Well, now's your chance to prove it. We're looking for the next baseball superstar. Register at thetryout.com for your chance to prove you have what it takes.
What a fine young lady. I mean, she's
great.
she's going to be great with this. So what happens October 15th so people know?
We're going to have, I don't know how many people with a dream are going to be there that day. And we're going to have scouts from different organizations. They are going to be there. And we hope that we find the next Otani or Judge.
Mm-hmm. So is it kind of like a skills competition, like America's Got Talent, but on the baseball field?
Sure.
So hitting, batting, pitching, throwing, running, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, if you still have your dream, come on out, Steve.
Yeah. I think I might try it.
All right, then.
I might try it. Okay, October 15th. It's right here in New York. I guess we'll be putting out more information, and we're going to have Grace Cashman as a guest next Wednesday. So you want to check that out. You'll hear right directly from her about what's going to happen a couple of days from then. So only a week and a half away. So we can't wait for that. So now, last night we saw history. Aaron Judge, 62 home runs. First it was Babe Ruth. Then it was Roger Maris. And now Aaron Judge, all the pressure was on him. He didn't do it at home, but he did it in Texas. Let's check out Michael Kay's call of his 62nd home run last night.
Right.
High fly ball, deep left. There it goes, soaring into history. He's done it. He has done it. 62. Aaron Judge is the American League single-season home run leader. The AL King. Case closed.
Aaron Judge, 62 home runs. The Yankees just ended their season. I think they lost today. 99 wins and 63 losses, something like that. Couldn't get it to 100. But, Aaron Judge, that's a record that we may not see happen again.
But, it's funny. 99 wins. Aaron Judge is number 99, 62 losses. He had 62 home runs.
That's right.
And there's our boy Frankie Negron. Talking about, he's one of Latin music's stars, and he's been following the Yankees all season, as has so many of the people in the entertainment world. Chaz Palminteri, and Richard Gere. Everybody Aaron Judge and Otani captured the baseball world this year with all their exploits, because we can't forget Otani too. He did a wonderful scenario, pitching and hitting.
I mean, no one's like him. And I think that when you see history like that, you have to remember now the playoffs are right around the corner. And for Yankee fans, it all goes through Houston. So we're going to bring on Bob Klapisch and Kevin Kernan in a few minutes. But we saw history with Albert Pujols. He hit his 703rd home run the other night. Let's check out what happened over there.
Albert hits it down the left field line. Number 703. 703. It's history. RBIs number 2,215 and 16. He's passed Babe Ruth, second all-time in history in runs batted in. A historic blast, number 703.
You know what's really cool about that is that Pujols came out of nowhere. He's hit 20-something home runs, came back to St. Louis. He's won America over, and it's great. And Harrison Bader, who's the outfielder for the Yankees now, got to see that firsthand, his 700th home run, and now he's with the Yanks and watching Aaron Judge. So that's a pretty good ride for him.
Pretty good ride indeed to see two giants of the baseball world, two power hitters like that, two guys that are going to go to the Hall of Fame, man. It's pretty cool.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We're going to take a quick commercial about the Ruth Eckhardt Hall, and we'll bring on Kevin Kernan and Bob Klapisch. Stay with us.
Ruth Eckhardt Hall's Adults at Leisure Matinee Series returns with fantastic shows. This exciting series features Elvis Birthday Bash, World of Musicals, Mutt's Gone Nuts, Share the Beat Goes On, 114 Years of Broadway, and more. Don't miss Ruth Eckhardt Hall's Adults at Leisure 2022-2023 series. Tickets on sale now. Visit RuthEckhartHall.com.
25 years ago, one extraordinary show danced its way into history. Riverdance. Now it's time for the next step. Experience the breathtaking phenomenon.
Don't miss Riverdance, January 17th through January 19th at Ruth Eckhardt Hall for 3 performances. Tickets on sale now at RuthEckhartHall.com.
Then we're back here. Ruth Eckhardt Hall. Bobby Rossi does a great job here. We're always promoting the great shows that he does there. And I know you've seen countless shows there as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, Bobby Rossi's Bobby Rossi, man. He does it now.
That's right. Well, let's get back. We have Kevin Kernan backstage here waiting for Bob Klapisch. I don't know if he's there, but Kevin Kernan was a former New York Post writer. He had the scene for 44 years, coaching Kernan. All 9 online magazine he writes for, and he was on the show last week. He's kind enough to come back this week. Kevin, are you there, sir?
I sure am.
Thank you for joining us again. And I think we're going to try to get your friend Bob Klapisch on the show. I don't know if he's backstage, but Anna, if he's back there, bring him on. But Kevin, what's your thoughts about Aaron? There he goes. Aaron
Hello,
Judge
Roberto.
making history last night, Kevin.
Kevin and Roberto.
I wrote about it for tomorrow in Ball 9. This is about a family, really. This is family first. Judge's first home runs now at 600 American League. And this is family. He made the Yankee family that much better. Yankee fans, the way the Yankees approached him after the home run was phenomenal. So it's a great thing.
Bob, what's your take on it? I know you were covering it, and we didn't know if you were going to have it on the show tonight, but since we did it last night and the season is over, the regular season, thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And first, I want to say, Ray, nice job at Columbia. It's my alma mater.
All right.
And, right, so I've spent most of my adult life either at Columbia or thinking about you standing at those steps. A lot of memories there. A lot of memories being on the steps in front of alma mater right there.
Yeah.
And great that you're doing Joe Fab's class. I mean, were those undergraduates or those graduate students?
Graduate students.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually got into, after I graduated from Columbia, I got into the journalism school, but by then I'd already started at the New York Post. I waited a year to apply. And when I went for my interview at the J School, they said, well, you have a job. You have a great job at the Post. You really don't need another degree. And they were right. That school is a terrific institution of higher learning, but it's mostly for people who have no background in journalism or are changing careers like doctors or lawyers and suddenly want to write. But it's a great school, and I'm glad to see you're associated with it.
Bob, do you think of Lou Gehrig when you were there?
Yeah, Lou and I were teammates, so we were very close to each other. No, it's a great school. You can see on the if you could have panned out the camera shot, you would have seen the great lawn in front of the other big building across the quad, and that's where Columbia played its games, on that big lawn. That's where Lou Gehrig actually hit his home runs, like right where you were standing. So there's a lot of history there.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Well, just to see the kids react to Ray's story and, you know, how his journey through with the Yankees and the second chance, and they were really taking it all in and they had many questions for him. So it was a great job. It was a privilege just to be around that. But Bob, what's your take on Aaron Judge last night?
And I'm sure Kevin will agree with this, and Ray, you know, I mean, I've covered a lot of athletes. You know, I've covered baseball for a long time, and I've come in contact with a lot of athletes, some really, really good people. But I would have to put Aaron Judge at the top of the list among the most decent and kind and generous human beings that I have met in a baseball clubhouse. There is something special about him. And you spend every day in a clubhouse for 6 months, year after year, and you eventually figure out who the phonies are.
Right.
Someone who is a fake will eventually reveal himself. And I do think that Aaron Judge is authentic. Everything that he says and does comes from the heart. And it's not very often you meet somebody like that, especially a superstar. I mean, I've met good guys who've turned into real jerks because money and fame have corrupted them. But not Aaron Judge. I think the person he is today is the person he has always been and is the person he always will be.
You feel the same way, Kevin, or what?
Well, in 2015, I was the first one to interview Judge because I went in the backfields and saw how good he was and wrote about him at length and about his family. That's when he told me he was adopted at 1 day old. And just think about that for a second. Patty and Wayne Judge, imagine how different this story could have been. So many different things could have happened to Aaron Judge, but he got adopted by a wonderful family, great moral compass, and that's where it all comes from. 2 teachers. And I remember that first time when I did that story, he told me everything. And it was pretty funny because the Post ran a story last week using my quotes from 2015 again. So they stood the test of time. But Judge, I think I had the best relationship with Judge among any of the writers. Many things we talked about in life. And he's much more than a baseball player. He's a great human being, like Bob said. And his brother John was also adopted, and he became a teacher, I know, over in Korea and did some wonderful things. But I could always go to Judge and get an honest answer. And I write tomorrow, by the way, and I'm sure Bob would agree with me. The first thing the Yankees should do is they got a few days off here before the ALDS. Go see Hal Steinbrenner should see Judge, offer him the deal that he can't turn down, and just move forward. Get this done. Wow. Get this done now, so it's not hanging over during the whole postseason and becomes one of those distractions. I mean, it should have been done 5 years ago, 4 years ago. All the other teams were signing their young stars. The Yankees didn't because they had the hammer. Now Judge has the hammer. I think there's no way he doesn't come back, but we probably said the same thing last year about Freddie Freeman and the Braves. So sign him now. Make that Yankee family, and not just the players, but the fans. The Yankee fans are just so tremendous. This is a lineage going back to Babe Ruth, Roger Maris. Now we got 62 and 22. Make the fans happy. The money is there. Everything is there. Make Aaron Judge a Yankee for life, and let's move on and see if the other thing I want to mention, I want to ask Bob's opinion because he was a pitcher. I got the sense that watching Judge and struggling a little pressure, the other teammates saw for once that he's kind of human, but they also saw how he handled the pressure with such grace. And I think this will help guys like Garrett Cole, who has a tendency to overthink and get in trouble. So I think in every way, this March to 62 was phenomenal. And one other quick point I want to make before we move on. This is like the movie Field of Dreams, Ease His Pain. And I'm not talking about anybody with the Yankees. I'm talking about the Maris family. I was there in 98 when McGuire broke the record. I was there when he was holding Roger Maris's bat to his heart and said, Roger is in me now. And the Maris family had their hearts broken by McGuire, Sosa, but especially by McGuire and, of course, Bonds. And this is kind of like easing their pain, and they can move on now. And I think Aaron brought new light to the great accomplishment that Roger had. And I want to show this shirt, M&M.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a great shirt for what we're doing. So I think all that came into play. This is much more than one guy hitting 62 home runs.
That's a great point. Bob, before you comment, Ray had the opportunity to meet with the Maris family. Let's check out that video real quick because it just happened a couple of days ago.
So, as you all know, as the whole world knows, these are the Maris boys. And on the other side, we're going to be talking to Sal Durante, who caught your dad's home run ball. What message would you have to Sal Durante?
Well, Sal, I hope you're doing well. We know you're in the hospital and fighting through some tough times, but obviously these are some big days we've had here the last few days, and hopefully it'll bring back some great memories you had back in '61, and just wish you the best on everything and a speedy recovery.
You guys have been so classy throughout this whole thing. I mean, there's a love affair between you and all of baseball. I mean, how do you feel about that awakening?
Well, I mean, we're baseball fans. We've always been around the game of baseball since we're kids. So, I mean, it's just a natural that obviously baseball and the Maris family are connected.
Now, you're coaching.
Yeah.
Will you take this message back to your kids?
I'll definitely take it back. Yeah, they'll enjoy it. They'll have a lot of fun with it.
There's something very beautiful about the whole Yankee scenario and how the boss felt about your father, don't you think?
Well, he was obviously amazing to Dad. He's the guy who got Dad back into the Yankee club per se. He brought him back here and retired his number, put the bust of him out there in the outfield in Monument Park, and we're forever grateful to George for all he did for not just Dad but for Yankee baseball.
It's beautiful about Aaron Judge, but it's beautiful about what the Marises have done for baseball in New York. I thank you. New York thanks you.
Well, appreciate
We
that.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice job, and there he is.
Sal Durante.
Sal Durante. Bob, what's your take on that?
You know, I think the Marises have done a great job of bringing awareness to Roger Maris's legacy. There's so many fans now who are obviously just too young to have any knowledge of what happened in 1961 and the hardship that Roger endured trying to break that record, how unpopular he was to older Yankee fans at the time who were rooting for Babe Ruth's record to remain intact, and how much more popular and well-liked Mickey Mantle was. Everybody wanted Mickey to break it. If Ruth's record had to fall, they wanted it to be Mickey. I mean, Roger was an out-of-towner. He wasn't a true Yankee, born and bred, brought up to the system, wasn't a New Yorker. And he fought through all of that and broke the record. And I love the fact that his sons are here to commemorate him and to pass the baton so graciously and so generously to Aaron Judge. It was a beautiful transition.
Hey, Robby, you just joined us. I know you're not back home in the studio there. You're traveling, but you got your Dodger hat on.
I do. I'm in Las Vegas, changing planes. Actually, I'm going from LA to Las Vegas, and then I'm going on to St. Louis, and we're going back for our Robinson Brothers homecoming concert this weekend, which is going to be an epic kind of a thing. And there's Carla right there. Oh,
we're headed for Illinois.
All right.
Illinois.
All right.
By the way, and I heard what you guys were saying, and kudos definitely go to Aaron Judge because he is. I just love, Kevin, what you were saying, especially about this guy is a special, classy human being, and what a story it is.
Hey, Robby, I got to ask you. A lot of the celebrities have come out. Chaz Palminteri. I mean, you name it. What does Frankie Valli have to say about the Aaron Judge scenario?
Well, he thinks it's pretty amazing, but he is so old school that he still loves the Babe Ruth, and his favorite guy, of course, is DiMaggio, and he kind of he's one of those guys that kind of feel like the new guys don't quite live up to the older guys. But I'm not, I don't even want to go open that debate because that's a whole can of worms. But
right. Bob, Kevin said sign them now between the playoffs. So you agree with that?
Say that one more time.
World.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For me, right? Is that for me?
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Okay. In a perfect world, that would be great. But Kevin, I think that Aaron has waited so long to be a free agent. He's not about to give that up now. I don't think there's any amount of money right now that would separate him from going out and testing the market. Unless, and even then, I think Hal has to come in with a figure so high it would be stupid, impossible for Judge to say no. He basically has to pull a Steve Cohen, what he did with Max Scherzer. Scherzer did not want to come to New York. Scherzer did not want to be a Met. He had no interest in being on the East Coast. But Steve Cohen offered him $43 million a year. Now, nobody was even close to that. The Mets bid against themselves to get the player they had to have. And that's what Hal's going to have to do for Judge. He's going to have to come in $100 million higher than anyone else. Because as much as Judge loves the fans and he loves New York, I'm not sure that he's coming back. I mean, remember, Kevin, as you know, as well as anyone, this guy's a Northern Californian. His wife, his high school sweetheart, is from Linden, California as well. They are from there. And I'm sure that now that they're recently married and she's going to want to start a family in Northern California. I'm sure there's some pressure there on her part to say, Aaron, you've done everything in New York. short of a championship, and maybe even she'll be able to say a month from now, you're a champion, you're a home run champion, you've done everything that people have asked of you in New York. Now let's go home. I'm sure that's going to factor into this.
Well, I agree, and I said that last week, Bob. And one of the things I pointed out was, don't forget too. And I'm at this age now with grandparents. You get older, you know, Patty and Wayne made the trip everywhere. They were everywhere,
Right.
And even with all the money in the world and having maybe a home in New York, it's still wearing. As Robby can see, traveling is not easy these days, no matter how you do it, unless unless you're one of these guys with the private jet, and of course you can get to that point too. So I could see. I know so much about Aaron, and he is so confident in himself that he could say, you know what, this is best for me and my family. And don't forget he was a Bonds fan. He grew up a Bonds. He's 9 years old when Bonds did all that, so it's a different world. He could easily jump to the Giants. The thing that I think that's most important, that what people are missing, is he wants to go where the team is good for forever, pretty much the rest of his career. That's why I'm putting Robby's Dodgers in the mix.
Right.
I'm smiling big time, Kevin. You're right.
And here's the path. You just get rid of Cody Bellinger. You trade him, or you just cut him.
Yeah.
You trade Turner, leaves because he wants to go back to the East Coast. I heard he
okay.
can wind up in Atlanta. Where Swanson is a free agent. Now all of a sudden you got money for Aaron Judge. Now all of a sudden your top three hitters are Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge, Freddie Freeman. Pretty good start right there.
Not a bad
Let me jump in. Please, if you let me to jump in, because I think Kevin has hit on something there. The Dodgers are going to get involved here.
Yes.
Now, here's the dark horse. Steve Cohen has promised the Yankees that they will not get involved with Aaron Judge because they don't want to start a war with the Steinbrenner family.
Wow.
The Steinbrenners were instrumental in getting the approval from MLB to bring Steve Cohen into the Major League family. Without Steinbrenner support, behind the scenes support, I'm not sure the owners would have supported Cohen, and I'm not sure they would have approved the sale to him. So Steve owes the Steinbrenners a big favor, and that favor is going to come in the form of not bidding on Aaron Judge. However, if what Kevin says is true, and I do believe he's right, the Dodgers get involved, they decide they want to have the super team for the ages that cannot be beat with Aaron Judge in their lineup, Steve Cohen is going to say, you know what? If the Dodgers have Aaron Judge, the Mets will never get to the World Series, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm going to jump in 2 feet first, the way I did with Scherzer, and I'm going to pay whatever it takes, especially since I'm probably going to lose DeGrom, which I think is a fact. I'm going to pay whatever it takes to keep Aaron Judge in New York, and I'm going to take him from the Yankees. It's going to be a fascinating winter.
Hey, look at this, guys. We're really getting inside baseball here, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Well, and also, Bob, all that, and you and I have been around the block a million times. The Yankees created this because they had no vision seeing what he was all about. And the story I always tell is that I would come over from the Mets, I would see Aaron Judge in the back of the Yankees clubhouse, and I'd say, Judgy, have the Yankees offered you that lifetime deal yet? And he would laugh and say, no, the Yankees don't do that. So the Yankees have created this mess. We'll see how it winds up.
Hey, let me do a little aside here. Tomorrow, Friday night, I'm going to be playing the Robinson Brothers homecoming concert. Like I said, we've talked about it, of course, ad infinitum. But sitting in the front row of our concert is going to be one of the owners of the Dodgers. And I'm going to capture his ear. And we're going to talk about Aaron Judge. And look at what he just did. Wouldn't he look good in Dodger blue? And we've got these nice home run seats over in left field, and he could just hit them bomb after bomb too.
Well, the minute Bob and Kevin, you mentioned the word California, Robby had the biggest smile on his face. It's been validated. Everything's been talking about the last 6 months on this show. So
hey, by the way, let me throw this to the experts too. Dodgers just won this afternoon, so the season is over. Won 111 games. Can you guys comment on 111 game wins this season for the Dodgers?
Yeah, I'm going to make it short and sweet. If they don't win the whole world, if they don't win everything, it means nothing.
Yeah, amen. You're absolutely right, and that's what every Dodger fan feels too.
So let me ask you a question.
There's 3 great teams in baseball this year. 3: Dodgers, Braves, Astros, in that order. Unfortunately, the Mets and Yankees are not on that list. They're very good teams, But I think Kevin's right. If the Dodgers don't win with the kind of lineup they had, the kind of season they've had, it will be a huge disappointment to them.
Let's talk playoff baseball here, guys. The Yankees and Astros, it doesn't mean anything if the Yankees can't get through Houston if that matchup comes again.
Absolutely, and Justin Verlander is waiting. So they have the starting pitching, and Bob's the pitching expert, but he can address that Astros pitching staff. Now, Dusty Baker, he knows how to use the staff. They'll have their closers are a little shaky. I will say that the Yankees have their number, so I could see the Astros doing what they did a couple years ago, throwing Lance McCullers out of the bullpen. So it's not going to be easy.
Okay, so we're having some technical problems, but the Mets got swept in Atlanta a couple of days ago. Now they have to play San Diego at home starting Friday night. What's your take on that series, Bob?
Obviously, it's a series that they didn't want to play, and you got to hand it to the Braves. They took the best shot from the Mets' best shot and beat them. They beat their two aces. They finished off the sweep by beating Tim Bassett. Look, the Braves were the world champs. They were the better team all along, and I think Buck Showalter knew it. He was just hoping to run out the clock on them with that big lead early on. But ultimately, the Braves are the superior team. They're the world champs, and they played like it down the stretch. I do expect the Mets to beat the Padres, but in the second round, I don't see them getting past the second round. I think the Yankees are going to have similar problems in the League Championship Series with the Astros, like we said, because the Astros are just a better team. I don't think the Yankees have a pitcher who can beat Verlander. I just don't have that faith in Garrett Cole like I used to 2 years ago. He's not the same pitcher, and I just don't. There's too many questions in that bullpen as well. I have my doubts that the Yankees are going to the World Series this year.
But as we know in baseball, anything can happen. The worst team can beat the best team. That's great about it, the game.
And what about the Seattle Mariners making the playoffs after 21 years?
That's cool.
That is a great story there.
Right.
Well, they went out and got Luis Castillo. They went out and got Luis Castillo, and that made a difference. And that's what you got to do. I think the Mets, back to Bob's point, I think the Mets didn't do enough at the trade deadline. They didn't do enough. They sat back a little bit, and they could have added.
Not only did they get Castillo, they signed Castillo too.
Exactly, and he loves. If the Yankees meet somehow, he loves to beat the Yankees. So that's going to be another interesting matchup. And but again, I think the whole 62 home run thing is just brought the Yankees together in a different fashion than they've been together all year. So I could see the Yankees parlaying this Judge moment into a role, because guys like Donaldson are playing better. They've come together, and we all know baseball is about family. Even the Bronx Zoo, that like Goose Gossett just told me many times, it was dysfunctional family, but it was a family. So the Yankees, I think, really the Judge thing. I tell you, you can't put a number on it or how important it is. It's really an incredible feat for what he did. Going all the way back to what Bob said as an individual. We recognize that early. Bob and I both are similar writers. We like to talk to people. And what Judge did in this age of analytics, in this age of robot players, he brought the heart and soul back to baseball, back to the Yankees. And that's what this game is all about.
But also another guy, Albert Pujols. Go ahead, Bob.
I'm sorry. I just want to jump on that and how important 62 was, not just for the record, as we've been talking about, but it will also allow Judge to breathe and relax again and be the hitter that he normally is, because there's no doubt, as any human being would, he was feeling pressure. I mean, think of what his at-bats became. The crowd demanding a home run every time he went to step to the plate. It became a 4 or 5 home run derbies every night. And opposing pitchers were getting booed at ball one. The crowds were getting restless every time Judge even got a base hit. It was a disappointment. That kind of constant pressure and the expectation, look what it did to him. He hit 1 home run over the last 11 games. So now that that's out of the way, he got the record. The regular season's over. He can do a reboot and a reset. And I think you're going to see a much more relaxed and much more productive Judge in the playoffs than you did in the last 2 weeks of September. And that's the only chance the Yankees have, is to have Judge on fire again. And like I said, the fact that the record is now out of the way, you can go back to doing the things he did mechanically, will help the Yankees immensely in the playoffs.
Now, Bob, Kevin, the Yankees are bringing back some of the guys that were on the DL, and they're expecting these guys to come in and play every day. I mean, how is that going to work?
It's going to be tough. But they need Carpenter's bat. They need LeMahieu. I think both of them are more like pinch hitters than anything else.
And Benintendi.
I'll tell you
Good
what,
player.
they got a nice lift emotionally from some of the young kids. And
Yes.
I'm a big believer. You got to have young players with the veteran players. And I think we saw that. Now, it made the moment may be too big for them getting into the postseason. But it seems like everything the Yankees did to get ready for the postseason, and we haven't even addressed the bullpen. Again, I think there was too much made about the whirly bird or whatever they call those pitches, those crossfire pitches. Michael King breaks his elbow. Clay Holmes has a shoulder. These guys have as many bullpen injuries now as the Rays get every year. So I think the Yankees overplayed their hand that way, too. So that's going to be an issue as well in the postseason.
Well, now Marinaccio's hurt too.
Marinaccio.
He's an important piece. And look,
what's his injury, Bob?
Cashman is not. What's that?
What's his injury, Marinaccio?
It's strange. He has a right shin injury, which is unusual for a pitcher.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Who knows? And then another big piece of this puzzle is Chapman, who is clearly not the pitcher he used to be, and nobody can figure out what's wrong with him. He still has a decent fastball.
It's the head, Bob. It's the head. Simple as that. And today you can't have just anybody talking to your players, okay? And I don't know who's talking to him, but this is not right. And that because of that, do you even put him on your postseason roster?
I think you have to, Ray. And here's why: because Chapman is one of these ego guys that wants to show them, you missed me, I'm going to show you. And I think you saw it in his last outing. He was a little bit better. He could be a wild card here. He could come back, not the same Chapman, but he could be effective.
Well, you see how often he throws his slider now. He's got a decent slider, but he's missing that 98 to 101 mile an hour fastball. You see a lot of 95s and 96s now. So he's lost some of his skill, but Ray's right. There's something going on up here. He goes to ball one, ball two, and he panics. His reservoir of confidence dries up so fast that if he doesn't get ahead of the first hitter, you can almost predict that the inning is going to turn out very, very messy.
Well, guys, let me follow up on what Steve was starting to throw in there. And what happened with Albert Pujols in St. Louis this year is almost on par with Aaron Judge. I mean, this is a phenomenal thing that he did in baseball. Albert hitting 700. I think he got the 703 now, didn't he?
Yes.
703. Yeah. We showed the video earlier. Yep.
Amazing.
And RBIs, he's in the top 3 as well. I mean, he just turned St. Louis, but the whole baseball world upside down, no doubt. Do you think there'll ever be another 700 home run hitter? I mean that's kind of a plateau. Judge won't get there because he's 30 years old now, but I guess it's going to be a long wait for that to happen again.
Well, I think the way they do everything now, it's kind of ass backwards in a way. Just think, this weekend the Yankees could have had a no-hitter too. They could have had a no-hitter. A no-hitter and 62 home runs all in the same weekend.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I agree.
That's right. So what are your World Series prediction, guys, before we let you both go? Kevin and Bob, what do you think is going to happen in the next couple of weeks?
I think, as Kevin and I agree, I think the Mets and the Yankees are going to probably get past the division series. They're going to struggle in the league championship series. Both teams are going to be underdogs. They're heavy underdogs. And ultimately, I think you're going to see the 2 best teams in the World Series, as it should be. You're going to see the Dodgers and you're going to see the Astros. It'll be a great World Series, but although obviously very disappointing to fans in New York.
The only X factor I'll say, and this is a big X factor, could you imagine if Yu Darvish finally shows up in a postseason? That could be an interesting run with the Padres because Darvish never shows up in the postseason. So If he shows up, that could really rock the Mets world. But I agree too. I just think I got this feeling about Dusty Baker this year that he's finally going to get there and win it.
I think everybody's pulling for him. He had one of my 3. I have an American League Manager of the Year vote this year, and he was number 2 on my list after Terry Francona. And you're right, Kevin. I think he has a really good shot of getting it, and everybody likes him personally. But we're kind of rooting for him as an aside.
And Bob, a baseball fact too. Altuve and a lot of the hitters with the Astros, they take what you give them. And it comes back to baseball, base running, defense, all those things. It comes back to pitching, of course. And the Astros are a solid baseball team. So you can't – every year the team that wins gets back to basics. One other point I forgot to mention, why the Yankees are offering that huge contract to Judge, which they'll probably turn down for the right reasons, like Bob said. They should also be giving a raise to Damon Oppenheimer. 32nd pick of the 2013 draft has saved the Yankees. That, of course, is Aaron Judge.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, one more thing the Yankees can do to sweeten the pot on Judge, offer him the money, Max Scherzer, whatever you want. Make it impossible for him to say no to the dollar figure and offer him to make him a Yankee captain today, right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
It's really tough to say no to that.
Right.
If he says no to that, then it's just not meant to be. Then he really does not want to be a Yankee.
No doubt. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much, Kevin and Bob. Keep up the great work, and thanks for sharing some time with us tonight.
Always good to be with you guys. Take care.
All right.
Great.
Take care.
Great, guys.
Awesome. Great, guys. So, Robby, you're traveling the world here.
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas. This is the only airport that's got slot machines in the airport.
Okay.
Beautiful.
That's
Beautiful.
right. That's right. So, how are things going? How's the tour going?
Well, we have, I just left. We rehearsed yesterday. We had a great rehearsal with this band. I had somebody commented to me earlier today. They said, "What are you trying to do? Put together the world's greatest band?" And that's kind of what we have coming to Litchfield, Illinois this weekend. The band that we have is insane. Can I talk about them a minute?
Please. Of course.
Okay. The band consists of, we've got, my brother and I, my brother played bass and sang bass with Frankie Valli for over 20 years. We have Frankie Valli's guitar player, Basil Fung. We have Craig Pilo, friend to Reach Out, who played drums with us with Frankie for years, and many, many other people. Maynard Ferguson, a bunch of other people. He's playing drums for us. Richie Gahate Garcia, one of the world's greatest percussionists, is going to be with us. Chuck Wilson is going to also be playing percussion and singing, was with Frankie Valli. And then we have in the horns, we have Harry Kim, who's straight from Phil Collins' band and lead trumpet on Dancing with the Stars and American Idol. Then we have on trombone, we have from the Ray Charles band and from Carnegie Hall, actually, we have Dr. John Brummel on trombone. And then we have Brian Wilson's music director is playing saxophone with us, Paul Von Mertens. So that's the band. And then we have 5 superstar singers. We have Steve March Torme, who's international star, son of Mel Torme. Andrea Hammond, who's a longtime collaborator with me, and she's a brilliant violinist and amazing singer. We have Sarah Nimitz.
Yay! Yay!
I mean, that alone would rock the town. But we've got all these people. Then we have Chris Montez, living rock and roll legend. And then we have the guy who played Frankie Valli in Jersey Boys, who was our guest last week, and that's Christopher Calais Jones. So, I mean, that's not a bad lineup for a couple nights in Litchfield, huh?
Hey, how come you didn't invite Bernie Williams?
You know what? I couldn't get a hold of him.
You should have.
I know. It would have been great.
Yes.
Yeah, you need another.
How come you guys are not? You guys have to come to my hometown, Litchfield, Illinois. Come on, guys.
Hey, you don't invite us today, okay?
Well, right after the show, we're catching an Amtrak. We'll be there.
You know what?
Days.
Get on Steve's private jet, and you guys can come out.
He won't go for the gas.
Yeah, but I think we have a little video to promote what's going to happen in Litchfield. Let's check it out.
Oh, fantastic!
Check it out.
Morning from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. I'm so excited to let you guys know that I will be in Litchfield, Illinois.
Hello, this is Richie Gahate Garcia, and I'm coming to Litchfield.
Hi, this is Sarah Nimitz, and I'm going to Litchfield.
I'm Steve March Torme, and I'm going back to Litchfield. See you there.
Hey everybody, Dr. J here. I'm heading to Litchfield and I hope to see you there soon.
My name is Harry Kim and I'm honored to be asked by the Robinson brothers to perform with them in Litchfield.
The incredible Robinson Brothers Homecoming Concert. The lineup of musicians and singers is just absolutely mind-blowing, and I'm so excited to be part of it. And it will be a concert that will benefit the St. Francis Foundation in their efforts to beat cancer. So please, please, please join us. We'll see you then.
I'm Christopher Colley Jones, Frankie Valli from the First National Tour of Jersey Boys, and I'm going to Litchfield.
Hey, this is Paul Von Mertens from the Brian Wilson Band, and I'll see you in Litchfield. Can you dig it? I knew you could.
Hi, I'm Chuck Wolf. I'm on my way to Litchfield.
Hey, it's Basil Fung. I'm here at Casino Rama in Canada. I'm coming to Litchfield.
This is Craig Pilo, and I'll be playing drums for the world-famous Robinson Brothers in Litchfield, Illinois on October 7th and 8th. Come out and join us. There'll be a lot of great singers and great musicians, and we're going to have a great time. That's October 7th and 8th in Litchfield, Illinois.
Rex Robinson here, better known in Litchfield as Mobile. But anyway, my brother Robby and me are coming back with our all-star band, and we're coming back to Litchfield. That's right, we're coming back to Litchfield.
Hello there, I'm Robbie Robinson, and I am going to Litchfield.
Awesome, Robbie. Awesome.
It's going to be, you can come and we'll get you up on the stage. Come on, Ray.
There we go. There we go. I can't wait to get to see this. It's going to be amazing. But Ray is like, you never watched the Batman series when they walk up the wall. You never know who he's going to interview and pop out of the window. That's Ray. We have
That's right.
We have a little Batman clip to surprise Ray before we do some interviews that he did. Let's show this a little bit.
All right, let's see it.
Let's check it out. Or not. Maybe we don't have it, but we have a couple of interviews that Ray did with Louis Sojo and and Brian Cashman. Let's check out this interview with Louis Sojo.
So, Louis, the Yankees are back in the playoffs. What do you think about when that happens?
Well, the mindset's got to be different. Now, the season is over. Now, you just got to focus on keep doing everything together for the team. It can be 6 games, it can be 7, but the mindset is very important for now on.
Gleyber Torres, how will he fare in the playoffs?
Well, man, I'm so happy for that kid. Early on, he was kind of struggling. Now it seems like he found his game, and I think it's going to be a good factor. If he stays healthy.
Well, he's had teachers like you along the way, so thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you.
Classic guy, right?
Very.
That is amazing, Ray. You would interview anybody.
That's right. Well, the interviews keep happening. Cecil Fielder, who thwarted with 50 home runs himself, Big Daddy. Let's check out the interview.
Hey, by the way, before you do this, I've got to go get on an airplane. They're boarding. Look at this.
Oh, get on that plane. Wow.
So I'll see you guys next week.
See you on the other side. Get away from the slot machines, Robbie. Get away from the slot machines.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, let's check out the interview with Ray and Cecil Fielder, Big Daddy. Big Papi.
Look who's in the house. I call him Cecilio.
That's right.
Cecil Fielder.
Watch your mouth, Ray.
Okay.
And I really still don't appreciate you doing to me like that on the telephone when you and Doc called.
Oh, my God.
I'm not happy.
People read Yankee Miracles, and you can see what happened with how we pulled a prank on this guy. I made believe like I was George Steinbrenner. I said, Cecil, George, come on up here. I got a 3-year deal for you.
See?
And
that was pretty. That was cold blooded.
But that was a good one, all right?
Yeah, that was a good one. It was a good one. It was a good one. I'm gonna give you that.
Now, let me ask, can the Yankees win it? Can the Yankees win it?
They can, but they're going to have to go through some folks. You know, Houston, they got to beat Houston first. And then we can really talk about it, because even then, after that, they got to deal with them Dodgers and Braves or the Mets. It would be a great series if they had the Mets, though. That would be a great series.
I will be back to you afterwards to find out, okay?
Sounds good.
Genius at baseball, genius at life, Mr. Field.
Peace.
Right, Cecil Fielder in those Yankee teams, he was clutch, man.
Big, strong, 40 home runs since '96.
And those teams, they had coming off the bench. You had Strawberry, you had Tim Raines.
Yeah,
Cecil Fielder. That's what we may be missing. The depth of our team. We'll have to see. But Cecil Fielder is a class
teams
act.
like that.
No. But we talked about Grace Cashman, Brian Cashman. Is getting ready for the playoffs now too, and you did a little interview with him recently.
This was
check that out.
interesting.
Yeah, let's check it out. Brian Cashman and Ray. Okay.
Do I need to come on live and explain, or can you guys check your messages?
What is this in a show?
Yeah, we're still on the show. Okay, so anyway, Brian Cashman, we have an interview with Brian. We can't load up right now, so we're gonna get that next week, I guess. But Ray, another amazing show. Kevin Kernan, Bob Klapisch. You had an interview with the Maris family, Cecil Fielder and Louis Sojo. I mean, great people coming together.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Very much so.
Yeah, and Robbie Robinson's in flight. So there's another edition of Reach Out. And we'll come back to you next week with some more exciting special guests. And pray for Florida, and especially for Fort Myers, Naples, and Sarasota, that area. God bless.
Maris is ready. Here's the pitch. It's going, it's in there. A new Major League record, 61 home runs by Roger Maris.
Hi, kids. That sure was a day for me. Part of the thrill of baseball. The kind of real excitement I've put into my great new game by Pressman, Action Baseball.